Phrasal verbs are part of everyday communication, so you need strong familiarity with them. The key to learning phrasal verbs is understanding their meanings and the context you can use them in. You also have to pay attention to the grammar. Some take an object, others don't. In this lesson, I'll help you master 25 common phrasal verbs. Hi, I'm Jennifer from English with Jennifer, and here's the first set of 5 phrasal verbs. Check out, move on, put out, look around, catch up. Look at the text. Let's replace the bold-faced words with the 5 phrasal verbs. The goal of any creator is to release content to entertain, inform, or educate. Let's replace that with put out. When you visit a new channel, see what's there. What does the creator offer? Videos, a podcast, special posts on the community tab? Let's replace this with look around. Examine at least one video before you leave in search of a better channel. Instead of examine, you can check out. And let's replace leave with move on. If you really like the creator, subscribe. You may not have time to watch every new release, but you can always reach the point where others are at your convenience, since videos are on demand. That last one is catch up. Let's read the completed text once more. The goal of any creator is to put out good content to entertain, inform, or educate. When you visit a new channel, look around. What does the creator offer? Videos, a podcast, special posts on the community tab? Check out at least one video before you move on in search of a better channel. If you really like the creator, subscribe. You may not have time to watch every new release, but you can always catch up at your convenience, since videos are on demand. Let's recap. When you put something out, you release it or share it with the public. Looking around is about taking the time to see what's available. Checking something out involves examining it in order to form a judgment. When you move on, you leave one activity to start another. This may also involve changing your location. After college, you move on to the real world and get a job. You can catch up or catch up to someone if you need to complete work that wasn't done before. We catch up on work or tasks. There are other meanings of these phrasal verbs. Can you guess a few more from context? 1. Imagine I'm an old friend and I say, "Hey, I haven't seen you in ages. Let's get together and catch up. Can you meet for lunch?" What does catch up mean in this situation? B. Talk and learn what has happened. 2. We're in a hotel lobby and I tell you, you have to put out your cigarette. This is a non-smoking area. This means A. You have to extinguish it. 3. Imagine I want to tell you all my personal troubles, but you really don't want to get caught up in my problems because you have your own to deal with. In other words, you don't want to A. Become involved in something undesirable. Here's another set of 5 phrasal verbs. Go in, break down, get off, keep up, put down. I'll test your understanding by asking you 8 true-false questions. Pay attention to how I ask the question, and you'll see which phrasal verbs take an object. 1. You shouldn't go in a private room without permission. True or false? True. To go in means to enter. If you're outside, going in means moving indoors. 2. Complicated grammar is easier to master when a teacher breaks it down for you. True or false? True. When you break something down, you look at it in smaller parts so that it's easier to understand or handle. 3. Receiving an awesome job offer would make most people break down. True or false? False. Good job offers make people happy. When a person breaks down, they're emotionally upset. One might break down in tears, for example, if they got fired or lost their boyfriend or girlfriend. 4. Many adults in the U.S. get off work around 5 p.m. True or false? True. Get off work, get off the bus. This is about leaving a place. 5. If a worker isn't fired after lying to the boss, some might complain that the person got off easy. True or false? True. To get off easy or to get off the hook means you didn't receive a punishment or you only received a light punishment for something. 6. Ideally, new businesses want to get off to a rocky start. True or false? False. A rocky start is a difficult or bad start. Here, get off means to start in a particular way. 7. A good student keeps up with assignments. They're organized enough to keep up and never submit work late. True or false? True. Keeping up is about maintaining the pace. You don't fall behind. 8. Kind people often put others down. True or false? False. Putting others down is about criticizing them. If you put yourself down, you're criticizing yourself and making yourself feel small. How did you do? Make note of any new definitions you've learned so far. Let's move on to the next set of phrasal verbs. This one has 7 verbs. Reach out, go off, cut off, turn back, pull up, set out, clean up. With this set, I'll test your ability to choose the correct phrasal verb. 1. My alarm went off, but I didn't hear it right away. 2. When you really need help, you should be able to reach out to friends. 3. When the former classmates met for lunch, they felt like they were able to turn back time for a day and feel youthful again. 4. Craig set out to become the top chef in New York City. 5. I pulled up to the drive-through window and received my order. 6. Heather says she doesn't want to live in the suburbs because she feels cut off from city life. 7. The new mayor promised to clean up the parks and neighborhoods. How did you do? Let's review. To reach out to someone means you communicate with them because you want their help or their involvement. We use go off with things that make a sound, like an alarm clock or a fire alarm. In another sense, if you go off on someone, you're yelling loudly. You're voicing angry complaints against them. When you're cut off from something, you're separated from it. To turn back is to return to some earlier point. We can physically turn back our clocks, for example. In a figurative sense, we say, there's no turning back, when we know once we make a decision, we can't reverse it. When you pull up somewhere, you approach that place in a car. Cleaning up is about making a place completely clean and orderly. Ready for the last set? This group has 8 phrasal verbs. Shut down, turn over, slow down, wind up, turn up, line up, take back, lay out. Let's take a moment to talk about the particles, those little words that look like prepositions or adverbs. Remember that phrasal verbs have a main verb and then 1 or 2 particles. Up often refers to an increase or to something done completely. Up can also refer to an appearance. Down usually refers to a decrease or an ending. Over might imply again, or it might refer to another side, or even a transfer of some kind. Back often implies going in reverse or returning. Out has different meanings, but there's this outward sense, like showing or presenting. Let's see if you can guess the meaning of each phrasal verb in this last set. Pay attention to how they're being used. Which ones take an object? 1. Some computer problems are resolved when we completely shut down and restart. Here, shut down means B. Stop working. 2. Upon retiring, Mitchell turned over all control of the company to his daughter. In other words, he transferred control to her. 3. The teacher asked us to turn over our test paper when we were finished. Turnover in this sense means to flip something to the other side. 4. In our company, business often slows down right before the new year because everyone is out of the office. Whether something slows down on its own or someone slows it down, this is about decreasing the pace or speed. 5. My GPS stopped working and I wound up getting completely lost in an unfamiliar town. Wind up means to find oneself in an unexpected and usually unfortunate situation. 6. Plenty of volunteers turned up, so the community project was a success. In this sense, turned up means arrive or appear somewhat unexpectedly. 7. The hockey players lined up and prepared to skate onto the ice for the big game. In other words, they formed a queue. 8. Our team struggled to take back control of the game, but we worked hard and won. Taking back means regaining possession. 9. Emily's boyfriend apologized and said he took back what he said, but she refused to forgive and forget his harsh criticism. In this sense, taking something back means admitting one was wrong and withdrawing what was said. 10. In court, lawyers lay out all the facts for the jury to consider. This means they explain things clearly. How did you do? Let's take a look at the complete list of 25 phrasal verbs from this lesson. That's all for now. I encourage you to make examples with any new phrasal verbs from this lesson. A Good Learner's Dictionary will also provide examples for you. And if you want a good place to ask me questions about phrasal verbs or any other grammar, you can consider joining me on Patreon as a lifelong learner. Visit my Patreon page for more information. As always, thanks for watching and happy studies!